Let's do it now.
Turn up the volume nice and loud. Cause we are controlling transmission with dance beats and R&B. Dawn Marie. You're in the mix with Lil Drummer Girl. With your host, Dawn Marie. In the mix.
I want to welcome you, drumsters, for another episode of The Little Drummer Girl. I'm your host, Dawn Marie Mutel, and
today I am so thrilled to have my very own mentor, Lou Bortone. They've coined him as the Godfather of video. Lou has worked as a branding specialist for over 20 years, but before starting his own company, Lou was an award-winning marketing executive in the media industry. He served as a national promotion manager for E! Entertainment Television and later as a senior VP of marketing and advertising for Fox Family Worldwide. Today, Lou helps entrepreneurs and solo professionals navigate their own online businesses with services such as brand coaching, online video production, and creative services. Lou is here today to discuss the various ways that you can implement video into your business and watch it boom. So grab a pen and let's take lots of notes and let's get Lou on the line. Hey Lou, how's it going?
Good. How you doing, Dawn Marie? Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you. I know you have a million things going on because every time I turn around I see another email from you and something new is happening in your life. So thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
I have been following you since around 2010, 2011 for my own business purposes and trying to get my business up and running. And I'm always amazed at how much useful and free information you've provided over these years. It just amazes me. How did you decide to venture into an online business?
It's almost by accident, really. I was doing video production and doing sort of, shooting commercials and a lot of the sort of traditional TV stuff. But when YouTube came along in 2005, I was actually doing like a sketch comedy show with some of my friends, and it was really kind of goofy. But we were finding that we were getting a lot more traction on YouTube and a lot more views there, even way back in 2005 than we were with other methods. So I eventually just kind of moved everything online. My partner who was doing all the video production sold his big fancy camera and, got like an iPhone or something, an early iPhone or something. And we just realized that, everything's moving online and that should be where we go.
You're always up on the latest trends. So what would you say some of the latest trends that are happening in video marketing?
Well, some of the obvious ones are live video, like Facebook Live. It's becoming a lot more popular, a lot more mainstream. And now you can go live on Twitter and Instagram, so that just continues to grow. And there's something else that actually Facebook coined a phrase called video first, which I think is a trend where people are starting to think about when they communicate, when they deliver content, they're usually doing it with video rather than blog posts and articles and stuff like that. So video first is kind of a cool way to think about marketing. Like, okay, this is not only a good way to consume information, but it's also a great way to deliver content as well.
When you talk about shooting video, does it have to be very long?
No, not at all. In fact, like live video, you have plenty of flexibility. Sometimes I think of those as sort of like, okay, in the moment, on the go, here I am at this baseball game, or here I am at a concert, and I may just share, 2 minutes of where I am, what I'm doing. And so it can be really any length at all. It's really more about kind of taking people with you and sharing what you're doing and sharing the moment. So that, and it's made really primarily for mobile, but you can also do it on your desktop. So even if you're just sharing quick little 2-minute tips or lessons or tutorials, usually shorter is better unless you're doing kind of a webinar or a teaching video or something like that.
Are there any free editing programs out there?
Yeah, one of the ones I like is online, and it's called We Video, W-E Video, and I'm pretty sure they have a free version, and the thing I like about that is it doesn't matter whether you're on a Mac or a PC. A lot of people who are, on PC feel like they're at a disadvantage because they don't have all the, iMovie kind of stuff, but We Video sort of levels the playing field, and you can edit everything right online on that site without having to worry about fancy video editing equipment.
That's awesome. What would you say might be some of the largest roadblocks out there for entrepreneurs that are not using video yet in their business?
I think part of it is really a mindset that people think it's going to be more complicated than it is, or they think that they need a lot of equipment that they probably don't. It's interesting because like during Black Friday when there were all these sales and things like that, I was getting a lot of calls and emails like, oh, should I buy this camera? And should I get this? And I just saw this deal for that. And I'd say, well, what are you using now? Oh, I'm using my iPhone. I'm like, well, how's the video on that? It's great. I'm like, then don't buy anything else. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right. I mean, I shot all my stuff off my iPad, and it was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Just edit it right there on iMovie.
Yeah, so I think people think that, oh my gosh, I've got to do video, I've got to have this big setup and everything. And I tell folks, I have my iPad, my iPhone, and the webcam on my computer, and that's it. I don't have any other fancy schmancy equipment. So that's one of the roadblocks. And then I think the other one is really just people, a lot of folks are a bit camera shy or apprehensive about being on camera, and I totally get that because I'm the same way as an introvert.
Yeah.
Again, once you do it a little bit, and once, maybe you start with something more informal like Facebook Live, and you realize that, it's maybe not quite as scary as you think. It's one of those things that just comes with practice and experience. I still would prefer not to be on camera, but I'm not terrified about doing it if I have to.
I just love the way you do your videos, and you use that green screen, and I really think that's really great. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, and it's funny because my defense mechanism for not wanting to be on camera was to put as many bells and whistles in as possible. So in the early days of doing video, I would dress up as characters. I would put my dog in the video. I would use a green screen background because I could project something else, using that green screen. I could appear like I was somewhere else, like, oh, hey, I'm at the beach or whatever. So it was kind of compensating for wanting to take the attention away from me and putting it more on the bells and whistles.
Is it difficult to use the green screen technology?
It's a little bit easier now, and even with, I know we talked before we started recording about Zoom.us, which is a screen recording device and a video recording device. And even with Zoom, you can use green screen, and
Really?
It's really not very complicated. So it's kind of cool that you can just drop a background in, as long as you have a nice solid green screen behind you and it's well lit. It's a lot easier than it used to be to do that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow. You had this easy video studio setup guide.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still have that on your website?
I believe I do, and I'm actually doing an updated version because some of the equipment, has changed and some of it's gotten less expensive and a little bit more mainstream. But yeah, I usually tell folks if you have some decent lighting, I got mine on Amazon for like $120, and they're called softbox light. If you have decent lighting and you have a decent microphone, I have something called a Blue Snowball USB mic, which I think was only about $50. You really don't need a whole lot more than that. So it's kind of neat because you don't have to, like I say, you don't have to necessarily invest in fancy cameras and things like that.
And I totally agree because I actually bought all of those things that you suggested, and it was just amazing how you can just plug in your microphone and off you're going, and then to have a home studio. I mean, years ago, you'd have to go into a photography studio or rent out a space. It was just so expensive, and it's just amazing.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I worked at E! Entertainment Television back in the day, it looked like NASA in that production studio. You had 18 screens and, 4 producers and all that, and nowadays it's like, hey, it's me and my iPhone, and I'm ready to go.
Watch out. I've got the next Academy Award in my hand. I just received an email from you that you refer to the top 5 video predictions. I was so interested in number 2, which was about AR and VR. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's, hearing a lot more about it. And, obviously virtual reality is sort of like, you put on the mask and that kind of thing. But augmented reality is probably a little bit more video-oriented, and that kind of basically enhancing an experience through extra video. So one of the ways I do that is I have business cards that would actually, when you point your phone at it with a certain app, it will actually play a video from the business card. So you can play video off of print materials. And I saw it, the first time I saw it, I think was in LA, and somebody was using their book cover to play a video. I'm like, how are you doing that? And they said, well, you have this app, and it basically turns a regular, print experience into an augmented reality experience with video. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on like that, and you don't have to be, again, you don't have to be a big company or a big technology to do it. It's really fairly mainstream and doesn't cost a huge amount of money to be able to do that kind of stuff now.
Now, is that something similar to a QR reader when they came out with QR? It is.
It's like a glorified QR code in a sense.
Okay.
So basically, and there was a company that was doing it around Halloween with wine bottles. It was really kind of freaky. Like you'd take your phone and you'd point it at the label on the wine bottle, and it would tell a little story about the wine. So
that's awesome.
So there are brands that are doing that now. I mean, being able to go into a store and point a phone at a product and have a video play off of a label is pretty neat. So,
oh, wow.
So I'm hoping to do that with my. I'm going to do that on the. When I do an updated version of my book, I'll have a video that will play off the cover.
Oh, it's funny that you say that because I'm just about to. I have a 14-part book that's about to launch, and
cool.
I was thinking to maybe do that with the cover. So I might read the cover.
Yeah. I mean, it's really attention getting, and when you're, or even if you're at a trade show or something, you give somebody a business card, and they say, hey, when you get back, point your phone at this, and it will play a message off the card, which is kind of cool.
It really is. Speaking of your new book, it's called Video Marketing Rules, and what made you decide to write about that?
It's funny. It's one of those things that I procrastinated about for years and years, and I knew I sort of, just if you want to kind of, have more credibility and be a thought leader, it really helps if you have a book on the subject that you teach. So, I planned to do it for so long, and then finally got my ducks in a row, and it really only took, maybe 6 months or so. So, I say it took 6 years, but it really just took the last 6 months of those 6 years to finally do it.
Because the first 6 were brewing. It was brewing.
Yeah, exactly.
It was being, you were in having your baby there. But in your first chapter, you mentioned 3 golden rules of video marketing. Can you tell us what they are?
Yep. I talk about educating, engaging, and empowering. And what I mean by that is, if you have a video, there's so many how-to videos out there on YouTube. So a lot of videos educate, other videos entertain, other videos, empower, like show you how to do something or inspire you. And if you can do a video that hits all 3 of those, then you've really got a grand slam. You've sort of hit the sweet spot of all 3.
Awesome. Where can we get a copy of the book?
That's on Amazon.com right now. So you can just search Video Marketing Rules on Amazon, and it will pop up there. It's also on Kindle, which is less expensive. So a lot of people get the Kindle version.
Can't wait to finish it because I just started it, and we're like, awesome. Always so much to learn.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's like basically doing a gigantic brain dump of everything you know into one book. And ironically, like most things, it wasn't as difficult as I imagined it to be.
That's because you were working at it for 6 years.
Yeah, exactly. It was brewing. So.
By the way, I need to know more. You mentioned in passing to me last time we spoke that you also play drums.
I do, yeah. I wish I did it more often, but so it's just I've done that since high school. So it's just one of those things that I've used. It's really funny. It's like I feel like as an introvert, I don't talk a lot, but I like to make a lot of noise. So that's my way of and also being in a band, as an introvert, it's like, I can hide behind the drums in the back, and I don't have to be up front singing.
Exactly. That's exactly how I felt.
Just, happy. Just put me back there on my little platform with my drums, and I'm a happy camper.
So did you have a band in high school or after high school?
Yeah, we had a band in high school. We had a band in college. So, yeah, it was fun. And like I say, it's one of those things that I wish I had more time to mess around with it. So, but
do
you
still play at all?
Yeah, once in a while. I have electronic drums now, so they're a little bit quieter. So I think the neighbors probably appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, and that's like one of the things that I'll do on YouTube is I'll go on and watch performances to learn how to play a song and watch the drummer. Sometimes you have these 6-year-old kids playing like Rush songs or something, which just
I know. It's mind blowing.
And then the video has 8 million views. So I'm like, that's it's interesting.
Go figure.
Yeah. It's even made it easier to learn how to play those songs that you couldn't quite figure out, because now you can just watch it 10 times and figure out what they're doing.
It just amazes me because when I was playing, I had to learn everything with the instructor or just by listening over and over and over again, trying to figure that out.
Yep.
But it's pretty impressive.
And do you still play as well?
Oh, yeah, I do. I actually had a band that I was playing in down at the beach last spring. Unfortunately, the lead singer got this really bad laryngitis situation, and his vocal cords have been still healing. It's been like 4 months. Yeah. So we haven't been playing, and I'm like, okay, dude, I'm getting a little rusty here.
And it's great aerobic exercise, too. So
it really is. And it's a great stress buster.
Mm-hmm.
Keep playing, even if you just got to play, like just practice your paradiddles or whatever. It just feels great.
Exactly.
After, Right. So, Lou, it looks like our time together is coming to an end here. And how can the folks out there listening stay in touch with you and learn more about what you offer?
Sure. I'm pretty accessible. I answer my own email at vip@loubortone.com, or my website is loubortone.com as well.
Awesome. And that's Bortone.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
And my website is I really got to update it. So I do a lot of things. Like I'll say, I'll send people to the book website. So I just do loubortone.com/book, where you can go and buy the book or get a free chapter of the book.
Beautiful. Yes, and I suggest everyone out there, if you're seriously interested in getting your video together, you must get a copy of that book and check it out.
Thanks.
Lou, thank you very much, and I wish you so much luck with the book and everything else that you do, and please keep giving us your wisdom and pearls of information on video marketing, because they've just been amazing, and thank you for all that you do.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's great talking with you.
Talk to you soon. And to you
Drumsters
out there, thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate it. We wouldn't have the show if it weren't for you. And if you like this episode, please share it with your friends and family and loved ones, and for any of those who are interested in growing their business exponentially. And
P.S. If you haven't pre-ordered a copy of 151 musically inspired secrets to master this thing called life, I talk about more of these types of things in that book. So if you like this, grab a copy. The book is going to be out in the next week and a half, and you will have it dropped into your inbox. Go to the Little Drummer Girl website at www.lildrummergirl.com/book and order your copy there. All right, my drumsters, I'll talk to you soon. Remember, it's never too late to live the life of your dreams and leave a trail blazing behind you. So rock on and rock out, and I'll catch you on the flip side.
well, it's never too late to live the life of your dreams and leave a trail blazing behind you. So rock on and rock out. I'll catch you on the next time. Namaste.
Okay.